Hi there, David Costello from Jetpack Workflow. Today I want to walk you through a template for a payroll tracking schedule. We're actually going to go through two inside of this video today. Now, of course, if you're watching this anywhere but the blog, you can always go to jetpackworkflow.com/blog to see more templates, to get free interviews on growing your firm. We have interviews on retention, recruiting, practice management, marketing, sales, pricing, upselling, adding new packages, adding new services, technology, and so much more. You can always go to jetpackworkflow.com/blog to access those templates, those interviews, and those free articles. Okay, so today we're going to dive into the payroll tracking schedule. We get this question a lot, which is, what is the best way to track payroll? Now, maybe right now you're using a whiteboard. Maybe you have a spreadsheet similar to this. Maybe you have pen and paper. But the idea is to try and get a complete 360 view on all your client work, especially payroll, as there's so many recurring schedules that you need to track. So let's go through two different options that we think are very viable to implement in your firm. Now, we have the first option right here where it's broken into schedules. So we can see the tabs below right here, schedule B, C, and D. And we could set up weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever it may be. And we can have the client name, we have the contact name. You can even include a field here for the contact number, contact email. You can put it in the same field, or you can create a new column. I'd recommend putting it in the same cell right here just to keep things organized. You have the person responsible for completing this job for the client. You have the next due date. You have any notes. You have how much time this should take. And let me go ahead and scroll over a little bit. And then we have the previous completed schedule off on the other side. Now, why is this important to track as such? Well, you want to have budgeted time so you can get an idea of what's going on inside of your firm. We can have budgeted time, and for those that are interested, you can put actual time in here as well. And now the nice thing between budget and actual is you'll be able to see, are we allocating enough resources for an individual payroll job? We highly recommend looking at things like budgeted versus actual, whether it's turnaround time, whether it's time itself, or even if there's a profit margin, actual profit margin versus target profit margin. Now, of course, you would have all the clients here, again, the contact name in case you need to reach out, person responsible, next due date, notes. We recommend having a budgeted time and then previous completed section. And you can go through schedule A, B, C, and D. If you do it in this way, I would recommend, freezing the top column right here. So I'm going to go into view. I'm going to go ahead and freeze row number 1. And then what I would do is I'd actually sort this by manager. So I can take a look at a specific schedule that I know is due this Friday or this upcoming Wednesday or the end of the month. I can organize that by manager and take a look at, who should be doing what. And I can take a look at, when is the next due. I can actually come into here, and if they haven't set up the next due, I can assume it hasn't been completed yet. So I can take a look at the open versus closed items inside of here. If you wanted to organize by everything that still needs to be completed, so kind of a work in progress for a specific schedule, you can organize by next due. And you can see all the ones for this week or this month or whatever schedule you're tracking, which ones are at the top, and then which next sections at the bottom. So that's certainly one way to track the payroll schedule. And of course, every time the next one reoccurs, your team will have to come into here manually update it, unless you use a automated system like Jetpack or some other system out there. The second one would be payroll tracking by team members. So this is where team members have they have their own set of payroll clients. They have different schedules they need to track. So in this sense, you're going to be looking at the client name, contact name, the payroll schedule, the next due, the notes, and again, in the previous template, we looked at budget versus actual. So I'm going to go ahead and call this actual up here. We can look at budget versus actual, and then we can look at notes around previous completed. This is great if you're going to be looking at a team member basis and if you wanted to come in and see how each team member is doing really quick. So if you have a team of 5, 8, 10, 2, whatever it may be, and you want to see, are they on track, you can look at the next due and quickly see, are things falling through the cracks? What are the priorities that are coming up inside of the system? So this is a brief look at the payroll schedule. Of course, you can use either one. You can use a hybrid. You can create your own. The point is you need to have transparency and visibility over all the recurring work and all the work inside of your firm. By having this transparency, you're better able to predict future capacity, you're better able to realize profits within your firm, and you can predictably grow your firm or practice. As I mentioned earlier in the video, if you would like to learn more, if you'd like to access more free articles, more free interviews, more trainings and templates like this, you can always go to jetpackworkflow.com/blog to access all those videos. Thank you.